Hi everybody, I'm Carolyn from Care's Bakery in Boston, Massachusetts, and today I'm going to show you how to make peanut butter filled chocolate Easter eggs. And to do that, all we're going to do is start with a double boiler, and I'm going to melt down some milk chocolate. You can use any kind of chocolate that you like. White chocolate's fine, dark chocolate. But what you want to do is make sure that you get a high quality chocolate, as good quality as you can, because if you're using chocolate as the main ingredient of one of your recipes, you're really going to be able to taste the difference if you use a higher quality versus a store brand. So I've actually already started this. I just have a pot of water with about half an inch of water in here over low heat. You only want to heat it up enough to create a light steam. You don't want to get it too hot, otherwise you might scorch the chocolate. And if that happens, it's going to get really kind of chunky, and you'll know when you see it. It's not going to be smooth and shiny, which is what you're looking for. So I have a bowl here of the chocolate, and I'm just going to stir it continuously until it all comes together and melts. And it's actually going to happen a lot quicker than you think, so you want to keep an eye on it. Once it starts to melt, it goes really quick. Okay, so this is just coming together now. It's just about ready. And I'm just going to stir out the rest of the little lumps here. Now what you're looking for, this is exactly what we want. We want to see a nice smooth chocolate that has a shiny look to it. And this is going to be great because when we fill in the candy mold, it's going to create a nice crisp shell that's going to have a little snap to it when you bite into it. If you heat it up too quickly and the chocolate starts to seize or burn, what could happen is it's going to get kind of gummy if you fill in the chocolate molds, and it's going to be sticky and it's not going to harden right. So this is perfect right now. And what I'm going to do is just turn the heat off so it doesn't continue to heat and possibly burn. And what I have here are just little plastic candy molds. You can get them at any craft store, kitchen supply store. You can pick up any shape you want. These are little eggs, and you can get any size you want too, which is great about this recipe. You can really do anything. And what we're going to do is just get a spoon. You can use a ladle if you want, but just a big regular tablespoon is fine. And I'm going to tip this a little bit to kind of pull the chocolate towards the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a spoonful, and I'm going to start at the top and just drizzle it over the eggs. You could also use a paintbrush if you have more detailed molds, or something a little bit more intricate, or if you just don't like this method. And what you do is you just dip the paintbrush into the chocolate, coat all of the sides, make sure you get all the air bubbles out. But this is much faster, and if you have that bench scraper, it's really quick, it's really easy. Okay, and now what you want to do is tap it on the counter real quick a couple times just to get all the air bubbles out. Just like that. And then you're going to hold it at an angle so the chocolate will drip right back into the bowl. Take your bench scraper and just scrape all the extra right down. And as you hold it, all of the extra that's kind of pooled up into the middle of the egg will fall out, and everything stuck to the edges and the insides of the mold will hang right in there. So just put that aside, and you're just going to want to kind of rotate just to make sure that the chocolate has come up to all the edges. And that's it. So it's way faster than if you took a brush and you wanted to paint all of the insides. So we're just going to put this aside so the chocolate can harden, and we're going to have a nice crisp shell. And now we're going to work on the filling, which it should be perfect timing. By the time we get the filling ready, these should be ready to fill, and we'll be good to go. And what we're going to do now is you're going to want to use a mixer. You can use a hand mixer if you want. It's not that big of a deal. It's a pretty quick filling to make, and it only takes a couple ingredients. The first thing that we're going to want to do is I have half a stick of butter, which is 4 tablespoons, and 4 ounces of cream cheese, which is half a stick of cream cheese. So I'm going to pop this right in my mixer, and I'm going to want to blend these 2 ingredients together. Okay, now this is all set. This came together really quick because I had the butter and the cream cheese both at room temperature, which is what you want. If you had just pulled them out of the refrigerator, it would be really difficult to blend them the right way. So this is looking great. Just take a couple of seconds. And now what I'm going to do is add the confectioner's sugar. Now this is going to take an entire pound of confectioner's sugar, which is a box about this size. Okay, so I'm just going to add about a cup at a time when I do this, but I'm going to use probably about the entire bag. So add a little bit, turn the mixer on just to blend it. Okay, add a little bit more. Okay, great. Okay, so now basically what you want it to look like is just, it all came together, got most of the sugar clumps out, so it looks nice and blended. I'm going to scrape down the sides, just mix it a little bit more. It's going to be really stiff, so you could kind of see how the mixer was bouncing around a little bit. That's what you want. It'll be okay. Okay, and so now to this, I'm going to add the peanut butter and a little bit of salt and vanilla. So what I have is a teaspoon of vanilla. If you can, try to find a good quality of vanilla too. That really will make a difference in the flavor. Okay, so this is a half teaspoon, so I'm going to do 2 of these. Okay. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix this together real quick and then we'll just add the peanut butter. All right, now I have 3/4 of a cup peanut butter. And now we can fill the molds. Now to fill the molds, these actually should be all set to go. You know, we did these about 5 minutes ago and they're already looking pretty firm. So if they're not firming up as quick as you'd like them to, what you can do is just pop them in the fridge for, 15 minutes or so, or even in the freezer for a couple minutes, and that should harden the shells. So make some room. Okay, so we have our filling here, and it's going to be a pretty light color and kind of almost a cookie dough consistency. And as I was saying before, it's different than a typical peanut butter filling. This is more like a peanut butter buttercream, which makes it really special. It's so delicious. And so to fill these, all we're going to do is just take a little spoon, and since these are hard, it's pretty easy. We're just going to scoop a little bit into each egg and press it down. You don't want it to go right to the top. You want to be able to still leave a little edge where we can put the back of the chocolate on. So what we're going to do is just, see, that's even a little bit too much. Just take a tiny little bit, press it right in there. Okay, so we're just finishing up this last little guy here. Press it down. And this is exactly what you're looking for. Just fill them up as much as you can, but you want to make sure you've got a little room left there to put it back on them. And now, our chocolate actually from before should be okay to pour right over the backs. So I'm just going to use the same spoon I used earlier. Take my molds. And you can kind of do the same method you did before. Just drizzle it right over the backs. Spread it around. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to tap it down, get all the air bubbles out. This is a really simple step, but it's really important. It works great. And we're just going to take our bench scraper. Hold it at an angle. Be careful not to drop the whole thing in your bowl of chocolate. And just scrape it right down. And you just want to check it and make sure that you don't have any holes in there. You don't want to be able to see any of the filling. And if you have any little air bubbles, just kind of take your spoon and pop them a little bit. Just like that. These look pretty good. I'm going to give it one more little tap here. And then all we have to do is just let them sit for a couple minutes till they harden. Then we're going to flip this over and pop them out, and we'll be all set. Okay, these should be all set. So all we're going to do is twist the molds just a little bit to kind of pop out the filling. Just give them a little twist and then turn them over. And sort of, they should just come right out. Just bend it a little bit, help them. There we go. Take a look. And these look pretty good. What you're looking for is just a nice, shiny, crisp shell. And if you have any that kind of like this guy that have the little edge, you can just snap it right off, or even take a little knife and just run the knife around the edge. I can show you. Just take a little knife like this and just go right around the edge to clean it up. Okay, now that we have these all trimmed up, this is what they should look like. And one thing that you can do to really make them extra special is if you go to any craft store or kitchen supply store, you can usually find these pretty easily. It's these little foil candy wrappers. They come in all different colors. You can get them in gold, silver, holiday colors. I have some here in a few different ones, and you can wrap them up so they look just like the Easter eggs that you would buy at a grocery store, but 100 times better. So I'm going to take, just to show you how to do it, this wrapper I think is just 3 inches by 3 inches in size. Take your little egg and put it right in the middle like this, and you just want to fold in the edges just like that, and you've got a little Easter egg. And this is something that takes 2 seconds. These foil wrappers cost about 50 cents, and I think it really makes a big difference. If you're going to give them as a gift, it's a really special way to do that. Dress them up. You could even put them in a piñata or something. That'd be a pretty fun party. That'd be a bonus piñata, I'll tell you that. So there you go. Enjoy.